Right, welcome back. And that was a report on the meeting of the president to the Arab information ministers and the 52nd meeting of the Arab information ministers that took place here in Egypt. And Egypt is the president of this session that has emphasized the role of the Arab media in light of the many challenges that are facing the region from one side, the global one on the other hand, and definitely uniting the stance to confront them while at the same time being able to portray the causes of the Arab region and the development it needs. And concerning the causes of the Arab region and the development it needs, we have with us over the phone Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good afternoon to you, Your Excellency.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you so much. And that important meeting the President was keen to have with the Arab information ministers before they delve into their session and before Egypt assume the leadership of this or the presidency of this session and the important statements of Mr. Karam Gabr. Let me here take your reading to the importance of the role of media with its different tools, particularly at this stage and at the backdrop of what is going on worldwide.
Very important, and we need the mass media very much, especially nowadays, because we want every single person in our country to know what we are doing. And frankly speaking, I asked one of three of our prime ministers why we don't have information ministers. This is not the time to get rid of the information minister. I know that Karam Badra is doing quite fine, but we need somebody the type of Abdul Qadir Hatim or Mahmoud Fawzi, or those who were explaining to people and people were receiving whatever they say with a lot of confidence. And talking about the speech of our president, it is, I hope that the mass media put it everywhere, because it is a very good resume of the situation and our position. So we need much more than any time before the mass media to be more active, to go everywhere. Now we have ways of communication like the Facebook or the WhatsApp or whatever. Because from now and then I read poisoning information, saying that Kissinger was talking badly about Sadat, or whoever is talking about the conspiracy against the Arabs. No, nonsense. And I want to draw your attention that Sameh Shukri yesterday was in a very wide meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the United States of America. If they are making conspiracy against us, why they are meeting us? And there is what we call strategic cooperation among United States and its partners in the Arab fold. So we need the mass media to be much more active. We need to give the mass media all the possibilities to act much better.
Your Excellency, media, or as we have been hearing about the fourth and the fifth generations of war, and media is quite a tool in such wars. How far do you think that media can be a double-edged weapon in such a war? And we're speaking here about the fourth generation and the fifth generation wars.
The mass media by itself, it cannot do the whole job. Where is the material? It is our duty as people, as responsible people, as the government, every citizen who feels responsible for this country must help the mass media to give the correct material. Because sometimes you hear a small rumor. So I see that the Center of Information of the Cabinet is every day denying this or that. And I asked my dear friend, the young lady who is directing this matter, do not deny. We want positive information. Don't wait until somebody is lying and then you deny it. So give us, flooding us with correct information on daily basis from hour to hour. This is what I need as a citizen, and I always talk as a recipient. I am not in the government, but I am a citizen who is receiving whatever the government or the responsible people are giving us. So we need much more active media to give us the real information, not to stand only to deny this or that, but to open the book and to show us where we are spending the money, why we are building 7,000 kilometers of road, why we are using more and more land for agriculture, why we are importing wheat. All these things we are in need as citizens of this country to know. So I hope that this message can reach that, and we want people on daily basis from hour to hour to give us the information, the correct information all over the day.
Your Excellency, here, the President, when he spoke with the ministers, with the Arab ministers...
Can you fix the voice, please?
Okay. When the President received the Arab information ministers, and part of what he was saying was that the Arab media speaks the same language and its role should be overcoming the challenges.
Your voice was stopped for a while.
I guess it's a technical problem here, but we're speaking about the statements of the President when he spoke with the Arab information ministers, and when he spoke about the objectives of the media, when he spoke about the challenges that we are facing, and when he spoke about the role the media should shoulder in the responsibility of presenting honest content.
Here we have a story of success which I am personally as Egyptian proud of, because the whole world was suffering from two main disastrous problems. The corona epidemic and its health effect and its economic effect also, where many airway companies has stopped working, where the tourism is affected, where many things are affected. The second problem is the war in Ukraine. And of course, it has two problems here. One is economic, and the problem with the gas and the supply of energy to Western Europe. They lack energy now. The other side is the lack of food, because we were depending on Russia and Ukraine for our cereal. I am proud to tell you that Egypt, because it started its economic reform years before, since November 2016, when those problems came, of course we are suffering a little bit of it, but we are much better than the whole world. Egypt is one of 5 countries who are still growing positively. A couple of days ago, the IMF and the World Bank are saying that in the United States, in China, in India, in Europe, the economy is growing negatively. So we have something to share with our partners. We have a good experience here. Also, we have, I'm talking about the ministers of information meeting, we have also regional problems. The Arab world is not in good health. Almost 1/3 of the Arab countries are in a bad situation. Take Syria, and its northern part is occupied by Turkey. Syria have now foreign forces on its land. Take Lebanon and what's going in Lebanon, and the deterioration of the currency in Lebanon, it's something astonishing. Take Libya and the differences between the different factions and the tribes and parties. And Libya is very important to us. Sudan is the same. Palestine problem is on top of our interest. And all these problems must be tackled, whether on the level of the information ministers, but the most important that we prepare a sort of Arab front in the coming meeting of the. I am happy that Algeria especially is hosting such very important meeting, because Algeria is very important to us, and I am one of those who are fond of the Algerian diplomacy. It is very active, very professional, so we have to prepare ourselves here. Also, the third file which I am engaged and the whole people are engaged is our internal, our national worries. We want to grow more because we gave birth in the last few years since the revolution of 2011. We gave birth to a number of children, double the number of a country like Greece. It is 25 times as a country like Qatar. So we have to work more to feed them, to give them housing, to give them schools, to take care of their health. The task is very important and very challenging. But Egyptians are clever. I am proud of the Egyptian realist spirit when it takes the responsibility. So we have to work on all of this. Right. Like Egypt, I am worried about what is happening in other countries which are facing such economic problems also. Hope this will be tackled in Algeria, inshallah. Yes. And more and more and more Arab investors will come to Arab countries, pointing here that Egypt is one of the largest attractive center to attract foreign direct investment in our area. But in my opinion, this is good, but not good enough.
Right. Indeed, Your Excellency, lots and lots of files and topics that should be raised in this upcoming Arab summit. It is very much anticipated because of the regional and international challenges that we are facing at this stage and this upcoming one. Your Excellency, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you so much for being with us and for your input. And I guess that takes us to the end of this episode. Next Saturday would be another important Arab file. Until then, goodbye.